All right, we're in it. Been a few weeks, but we're back at it. Give the people a chance to file in here. But yeah, it's been too long. It's been an eventful couple weeks, and we've had to bounce the show the last couple weeks. Probably in the 4 years we've done this, probably the first time like in season we missed 2 weeks in a row. But
It's
the
actually been
plans
3 weeks.
3 weeks because we did after
We haven't.
Wilkesboro.
We haven't done a show since after Wilkesboro.
Yeah, and then we missed the week before Wilkes. So that's really 3 or 4 weeks, I guess. Like because we
Yeah.
missed Wilkesboro a week too. So
Yeah.
yeah, but plans. We'll say. I mean, who knows what's going to come up? But we'll say tentatively as of now, every week, rest of the year, we'll be here.
Yeah, we'll definitely try to get back on track. We've been pretty bad about it. I mean, it's been a busy start to the summer for sure. I feel like I'm back, just getting back into a good routine from the whole racecation week off there for Wilkesboro, and then obviously the 600. So yeah, just getting back in the swing of things, and like I said, we missed a couple weeks. We were busy sleeping or whatnot. Who knows? And it just didn't work out. I think last week we tried to run a show on Friday, and it's kind of just like, at what point? What's the point at that point? You know what I mean?
We were
So
going to on Thursday, and I forgot I was going to that baseball game with people at work, so that kind of threw it off.
yeah, and then we were like, oh, let's do it Friday, and then I didn't even think about it. I was like, nah, I'm not even feeling it. So we're gonna do the old Sports Center rundown style here. We got a list of topics, and I think we agree on pretty much all of them. So we'll run through
You
them.
want to make you want to make some little banners while we do this, since we got a whole rundown. Like
If you know how to do that, sure.
I'm about to say, I don't know how to do it on my phone, but if it's easy to change there on the computer,
Nah,
I'm gonna retweet.
I don't think it's that easy. I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
retweet these tweets while we're at it too. If you want to help me stall
I
for a
don't.
second.
Yeah, no problem. I don't know how to do all that for sure. So, but
Gotcha.
yeah, shit. I mean, I'll stall a little bit, and I'll kind of reveal the big announcement that I've been hanging on to. Uh, we're gonna do the official Rose 1 through 10 tailgate this weekend.
Oh shit.
For the Cars tour. We're gonna go down a little early, pregame that at Dominion,
Big time, boy.
and have a TV out there for the Xfinity race. Yeah, no, just kind of enjoy the day and do it big. Kind of get group of 10, 15 people, or whatever it is, and yeah, have a good time out there. So
Sounds awesome. Wish I could be there for it.
yeah, it should be a good time.
Hell
Um,
yeah, that sounds sick.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that on Saturday. Obviously, Car Short, that'd be a big race up here at Dominion. So yeah, looking forward to that. Yeah, I don't know if you want to keep stalling anymore, or you just want to get into it. Kind
I
of.
got the stuff posted, so
Yeah, we'll slowly creep into it here then.
yeah, I mean, I sent you a list earlier. Obviously, you can add and move around that list as you see fit, but I just kind of tried to throw together a list of like everything big that we haven't talked about since we were last on here. So I guess the first was went to Charlotte. It was a pretty good weekend, and I think we were all pissed with how it ended. um,
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, normally the race is usually the cherry on top of a great weekend, and that just it let the sour taste in all our mouths for sure. The way that all went down. Obviously, if you're listening to this, you know how that went down. I'm sure. Um,
humidity gate.
oh God, watch out! Fucking cancel the where are we at this weekend? Iowa. Go ahead and cancel it
Yeah,
now. Weather's probably 100% humidity. Go ahead and shut it down.
yeah,
Don't
no
even go
race
out
this
there.
weekend.
Don't even take the haulers out there. Waste their time. But yeah, kind of ridiculous. I think under the surface there were some underlying issues. I think there's a feud between Fox and NASCAR right now, and I think there was some TV pulling the plug. I think that's had a lot to do with it because it seemed like it was so abrupt from everybody. You think that they would have been like, all right, yeah, just gonna cancel it, but NASCAR was like, all right, we're gonna go with the jet dryers going, and then they sit there and dry it for an hour and a half, and then it was like, oh no, we're done. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I mean, I speculated the Fox thing when it first happened. I mean, Harvick denied it. Obviously, he works for Fox. He's going to. I listened to his podcast, and he completely denied that. And Elton Sawyer did too. But I mean, maybe he was just trying to help Fox save face at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you want any open conflicts between your TV partners and the sanctioning body. I mean, we're already in the midst of charter negotiations right now, so I mean, like I said that would not be a good look to have on top of that the charter negotiations that we already have right now. That's kind of giving us a bad look in some of the press. So, yeah, like I said, it left a sour taste in our mouths for sure about how that all went down. I think we would have been less upset if it just been like it called it like as it rained. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like we would be like, oh
exactly.
yeah, we get it. You know, it's late. You know, like that was our thing. It was just like, okay, if they start driving the track, like they're gonna go all night. It seems like so. It was definitely a shame they didn't continue to drive, especially when you saw pictures come out later that evening of the track dry after they stopped drying it. So that's what was disappointing, I think, about the fact, for sure, and left a sour taste in our mouths. I'll say that again. But yeah, definitely disappointing into the weekend.
Yeah, that was pretty dumb how that all went down. I mean, it's just like this whole argument like that like NASCAR made where there's like oh like we're not going to do that to our fans and have them watching a race at like this. I'm like we're fucking grown adults. If we want to fucking stay up and watch the race, we can fucking stay up and want to watch the race. If we want to go to bed, we're going to go to bed. We don't need NASCAR to babysit us.
Scott says, I do not think.
There's yeah,
Shit.
there's not.
I didn't mean to put you in timeout, Scott. That's my bad. Fuck.
Man,
Fuck.
yeah, that's funny.
My bad, Scott. Didn't mean to do that. I was trying to get your comment up here. Um, but yes, so that was bad way to end it. And but I will say, just to play devil's advocate, I do see the side of it being like you had all those volunteers there, the track workers. You know what I mean? People running the concessions, people parking. They had kind of timed out. I think that I do see that aspect of it, but it was like you know what I mean. You should have seen that coming when you started to dry the track. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So yeah, so like
I mean
I
they
get
knew that was going to be the case, so.
yeah, like you know what I mean. It's not like they hit this certain time and it was like, oh, we gotta stop now. You know what I mean? Can't go any longer now. Like everybody's timed out. So, yeah, it was just definitely a bad way to end things. But yeah, we'll move on to the next topic. I'm gonna try to
I
back
just
out of here. I'm gonna try to back out of
I
here real quick.
okay.
I'll be right back.
I and well, I'll sit here and say myself for a second. I don't know if he's still listening, but something I've been saying since all that happened was that I think the 50% rule needs to be adjusted and maybe make it 75% or something like that because I just don't think 50% of a race is enough to determine it as an official race. This thing is barely longer than an Xfinity race, and like that's the Coke 600. So I would like to see that rule looked at and maybe make it a 75% rule or something like that. I just don't not a fan of the 50% rule, and it's been around for that's always been the case. That's always been how it is. But I think this race in particular made me realize that it's kind of a, a shitty rule in a way. 'Cause it's not enough to determine a race. So maybe in the future we can make that at least for maybe like playoff races and crown jewel races, make it 75% or something like that. But yeah,
Yeah, no,
what are
I
you
don't hate
saying?
that. I don't hate that idea at all. I do like that idea. You know what I mean? So that I don't hate that. Um, yeah, that's something maybe we could look at, and something that maybe we could get on the fan council vote thing or whatever, you know, and because it did seem like a lot of people were upset that you could hear the boos very clearly. You know, they were definitely
I'd
loud
never
and proud.
I'd never seen anything like that. Like just like in unison, like all the fans staying there after the race is over, like doing it. It's like that's different than like when a driver they don't like wins. That was like just dissatisfaction from the fan base who put all this money and time into this to get the rug pulled out from under them. It was definitely pretty infuriating.
Yeah, for sure. But Scott, I got it fixed, man. That's why I backed out of here and rejoined. I figured I might fix it, and it did. So we're back in action. We got your comments up, and so yeah, feel free to send in some banter as you see fit. But yeah, you want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, what we got on there next?
It says I think Austin Hill bitching weekly.
Yeah, that was out of Charlotte and then kind of continued on into Sonoma. But it's just like it's every fucking week with this guy. It's something. It's like his little temper tantrum and wrecking Cole Custer at Charlotte, which so a lot of people argued should have been a suspension. Um, because it's obviously intentional, and I mean they fined him as much for it. So I don't know. It's every week with that guy, and then he goes to Sonoma and there is this little fucking hissy fit about Ben Gisbergen, which I mean we can. I had that on the list. That was awesome. That burnout like right around Austin Hill, dude. I fucking love that.
We'll get to it later in the rundown.
Yeah, but I had that on the list. That happened in Charlotte. That was one of the big stories of the weekend. It's like just goes in there. I mean, he caused the wreck with Custer.
That's kind of what I was gonna say. If I remember correctly, he goes into 1 and 2 and washes up and kind of loses it. And I didn't have a problem with the on track that initial incident. Like I saw that kind of as a racing deal. It was hot as shit, and kind of lost it under who was it? Cole Custer. Yeah,
Custer.
Yeah, just kind of lost it under Custer because they were racing side by side. And then he goes down the backstretch and loses his mind and hooks Custer. Like you said, it definitely could have warranted a suspension if they really wanted to. I think they got the message across. And like you said, he's been kind of crying in his TV interviews after the fact, trying to play the victim, yada yada yada. I mean, I will give him a little credit. I did like this week. He was like fired back. He's like, the keyboard warriors, So I did like that. He kind of acknowledged the fact that he's getting a little hate.
Well, I like how it's always like they say stuff like, "Oh, I don't care what the fans say," like this and that, and then like obviously you do care. You wouldn't be saying that, like.
Well, no, he didn't say he didn't care. He said he was straight up. He's like, no matter what I say, it's gonna be wrong. So. I mean, I was like, I kind of like that. Like, I was like, I like the interview. But yeah, I mean, I mean,
it's already kind of the topic at hand, though, since we're talking about that. I guess we can jump around.
I didn't see anything really wrong with the initial contact there. So.
Yeah, I mean, when you go back to Coda, and Shane owed Austin Hill one. I think that was completely fair. I mean, Shane said as much after Coda, and it came back around. Like that's how this shit works.
That was quintessential NASCAR.
Yeah.
That was door banging at its finest.
Yeah.
Two guys going for the same piece of real estate on a late race restart. And both of them know that both of them are hungry for a win. I had no problem with it on either side. Obviously, if you're Austin Hill, you're going to be upset. You feel like you had that right to that track as the leader, but he also was there. He was close to the inside. If you're SVG, you're like, oh, no, I got to get this spot, you know what I mean? I got to do everything I can to not let him get this position. So it's just hard battle. And like I said, I liked Austin's comments after the fact and acknowledging the keyboard warriors of saying, oh, yeah, no matter what I say, it's going to be wrong. So I was just like, oh, yeah, okay, I like it. He acknowledges it and sees the comments and like I said, stirring it up a little bit. I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
The whole Charlotte deal, going back to Charlotte, though, I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. Maybe after seeing a replay, he kind of calmed down and came to his senses. But, yeah, this weekend was great.
Yeah. Anyway, I know I had on the list I guess right after Charlotte it came out. So next thing we got to talk about SHR closing the doors. We know those rumors were out there for a long time. It's been speculated about. I feel like for a couple years now. Like, are they going to sell one charter? Are they going to sell two? Are they going to close down complete? I don't think it was closed down completely till like the few weeks leading into that. But there's been rumors about them dialing it back and selling charters for years. And I mean, if we're honest, like we know the ownership with that team with Tony Stewart and Gene Haas, like they both for a few years now. I've seen like they kind of checked out on NASCAR as a whole. Like they have other interests. Tony obviously has the drag racing, which he just shut down SRX. Like he's kind of putting everything into that drag racing now. Like that seems to be his main priority. And then Gene with F1 and everything, and he's dealing with some Russia stuff too that doesn't get talked about that much. But I know just like potential legal ramifications for him and his company that he owns for like connections that they've had with Russia and the war and everything. Um, that story hasn't gotten that much traction, and I don't know like what the latest update on that is, but I'm sure that has been something he's been dealing with that has played a factor in his decisions.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The quote that sticks with me about this that I think it was either the end of, I think it was the end of the first year of the next year, so 3 years ago, or 2.5 years ago at this point. Tony Stewart, when I think uh, Rodney Childress and Kevin Harvick got in trouble, Tony Stewart was like, "Oh, if I didn't have to be here this weekend I wouldn't." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
it
that
was
that
when
quote.
they fined Custer
There
for
you go.
the Roval ordeal
Okay.
with Briscoe.
Well,
Like
that
said,
that
he
was all
gave him
like a couple weeks span.
yeah,
So
and
yeah,
I,
that quote definitely stuck with me. It seemed like, and yeah. So like I said, these rumors were out there last year of them possibly downsizing. Like you said, I don't think anybody speculated that they would be completely wiped off the map. Um, but yeah, like Scott says here, it says when sponsors leave, Gene wasn't going to fund everything, and that's true. I mean, they lost Smithfields, which was one of huge partners. They were on Eric Almirola's car pretty much damn near every weekend. Um, and Busch Light. I think Kevin Harvick. They were again on the car damn near
Mobile
every
One as
weekend.
well.
Yeah, Mobile One as well. I guess they're not there
Yeah,
anymore.
there was kids now.
No, they're still there because they're with Barry. They were on Barry's car this weekend.
Well, they've at least like I know they've at least like dialed back with SHR and they're
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
they're
you go
sponsoring
back
the kids
to
now
what
too.
was it, 2011, and I feel like Tony Stewart's car was Mobile One Office Depot damn near every week. You know that red and white car, red, white, and black car was very iconic. Um,
Harvick a lot too. Like
yeah,
so,
so yeah,
I
just
mean,
that's a great point, Scott. The funding dries up there, and then, like you said, Gene's not going to fund it all. I mean, when he's already funding a
and obviously they
I
just
don't
did.
even know if mid is the right term for the Haas F1 team. Below mid is probably the right term. So, yeah, it's
Obviously they just did a bad job like finding new sponsors too to replace those. And I mean like you heard what Harvick said at Hendrick, where like when he drove like in practice for Larson at the All Star race, like and like that quote stuck with a lot of people where he's like it's different like being at an organization where the owners are actually around, and it's
yeah,
like that just goes to show this is an organization with no leadership. Like Tony's not around a lot, Gene's not around a lot, and then Kevin Harvick retires, and he was kind of like the anchor holding that team up. He goes away, and there's just like there's no like veteran leadership like driver
Rodney
like
Childers
team.
is trying to lead the ship day to day.
Yeah,
That's not
and you
good.
got like four young drivers who like haven't like Chase has won a cup race. He's the only one there who's won a cup race, and he's won once. And so you don't really have like that like veteran like driver leadership too. So
And
it was
another
like
thing, the Ford they lost their Ford sponsorship as well. Not sponsorship, but uh, what do you want? Manufacturer support. That deal
Yeah,
ended up going up as well. So yeah, just a lot of bad timing for them, and like you said, a lot of young driver lineup that's not proven. I mean, granted, this year they've outkicked their coverage, we'll say, with Noah, Josh Berry
and
having great
idiots running
runs.
the asylum.
Yeah, pretty much. That's not never a good thing. Um, so yeah, they've definitely outkicked their coverage this year, and it's a shame that they are shutting down. But now it's becoming an audition for all these guys, and I mean, you think the odd man out would probably have to be Ryan Priest, right? I mean, he brings hardly any funding. I don't think.
From the latest silly season update I saw that Ab Stern posted last week, he said that Priest and Barry are running thin on options to stay in Cup.
Yeah.
That he said, I mean, Gregson obviously has some sponsorship with him, and I think Chase Briscoe will too. And Chase Briscoe is also just like the team's like Gibbs, if Truex retires, is going to go after him. That's what the article said. Like he's just a highly regarded talent in the garage in general, so like he should be
I
fine. Which
think
obviously,
I think Briscoe's tapped for the 21,
yeah, that's
and
the
then
rumor that's been
and
going
then
around for a few weeks. But
if Truex retires, it'll be Gregson over there with the Bass Pro Shop money.
I could see that. There's also a rumor
Or
about Gregson going to RCR,
this is
but
true. So there's a lot on the table. It's I think probably changing daily, hourly. We'll have to wait and see as the news unfolds. Um, it seems like a lot of these things have been played close to the vest here of late. So yeah, we'll see. Obviously, we know one of those
Chase Br-
charters. Well, I guess we don't know anything yet, but it seems like the writing on the wall. Front Row has announced that they are buying or running a third team next year. So we
yeah,
would speculate that they are getting one of those charters from Stuart Haas. It's not confirmed, but obviously the writing's on the wall. You can connect the dots.
and then Trackhouse and 2311 both like from like all signs point towards them. I mean, that's been Pockrass and Bianchi and all those guys have said that Trackhouse and 2311 are pretty much locks to get two of those charters.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know Trackhouse has four drivers signed a Cup, which could get interesting because we've heard with these charter negotiations that they're trying to cap teams who aren't grandfathered in at four charters in the new deal. So like that could really make things interesting if that's the case with Trackhouse because they have four drivers under contract to drive and Cup for them. So, in which the article that I was referencing said that if that does come to fruition, it sounds like Zane Smith's going to be the odd man out there.
Well, no surprise. He's running like dog shit.
Yeah, he's not been good. And
He's
yeah,
shown zero flashes of consistency or really anything to kind of really build off of. I feel like.
and obviously Shane, I think like that's a guy who has potential to be like one of the faces of the sport. I don't think that's like a stretch to say that. Like
Well, I think
he
that's right
like
now the worst kept secret in the garage is he's going Cup racing next year.
yeah,
Yeah, and then like you said, I think he definitely has the chance to be the face of Cup racing or one of the stars. Um, so yeah, that would be exciting. But and then obviously there's rumors about that fourth charter of kind of being a surprise team, and yeah, so that would be interesting to see where that lands. Um, I've heard RCR is possibly in the running for that. Um, so yeah, we'll see where that
RFK
lands.
as well.
Yeah, so it will be interesting to see where that lands. We'll stay up to date with that. Yeah, that's about all I got on SHR. We covered a lot with that one. That was pretty good. Um,
Yeah,
moving
I have the
on
silly
down the
season
line.
stuff
Well, yeah, we
just on
kind
there
of.
in general. But
Yeah. If we think of anything else, we can touch on that. We kind of killed two birds with one stone right there.
I'll
Um,
just say, like we mentioned it, but like right now, it seems like Truex is the big domino that everybody's waiting to fall. Which it feels like this is what the third straight year. This now with Truex, like will he or won't he? Like, is he going to stick around? Like, we'll see. I mean, it's been two straight years that there's been rumors about him leaving, and he's decided to stick around. So we'll see That happens for a third time, I guess.
Yeah, I think that domino will fall in the next 2 weeks or so.
What are you thinking?
Uh, does Truex win at Iowa, New Hampshire, or Nashville?
I think he wins one of those three. I'll say that. I'll go ahead and say that. Those are, I mean, Iowa's new, but New Hampshire and Nashville have been two really good tracks for him. So I'll go ahead and
Then
make that prediction that I think he wins one of those three. That's obviously personal opinion. But
then he stays. If he wins a
you
race in the
think
next three, he stays. If he doesn't have a win by the hard deadline of whatever they're saying, I think he's out of there. That's my prediction.
uh, I lost you for a second.
Uh, can you hear me now? Check, check,
Yeah,
check,
I
check.
got you.
Yeah, I said if he doesn't get a win in those three races or whenever the prediction is, I think the prediction comes by Nashville or his decision comes by Nashville. Um, so yeah, if he doesn't get a win by then, I think he's out of there and calls it quits. But if he manages to get a win by then, I think he stays.
I'll just go ahead and say it now. I think he wins New Hampshire. That's a really good track for him. So,
Yeah, I, I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all.
yeah. So what we got on there next?
Uh, Kyle Busch struggles one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been tough sailing for Kyle Busch to say the least. And as a fan of Kyle's, like to me, I think Kyle's just in his own head right now. Like he's not used to not winning. He's not used to having cars that aren't capable of winning. Which, frankly, that's the situation he's in right now. So it's tough, and he's been struggling, and it's kind of becoming one of the stories of the season that he's in serious jeopardy of missing the playoffs. Like that's a guy. I don't think there's a guy in the garage that needs a win worse than Kyle Busch right now, just to get out of his own head and get his confidence back, and obviously to get into the playoffs.
No, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's more he's in his own head. I mean, like I said, he's had a string of bad luck here. Like I said, I don't really remember how he ran at Charlotte. I don't think great.
Good until he had he had the pit penalty on the first pit stop, but he was running
No, I thought they
like
came back from
I
that.
mean,
I thought they came back to a
I
decent
don't.
finish from that. I feel like he finished like 12th or something like that.
But he was running like top. I think he's running like fifth before that penalty.
Yeah, but that's the thing is I feel like they've just gotten really unlucky. It's like they've had decent speed in their cars. I feel like they've had top 5, top 10 speed past month here. Just can't buy a break right now. I mean, like I said, you go to Charlotte, the pit penalty. Gateway, I mean, it starts, or not Gateway, Wilkesboro starts there with the whole Ricky Stenhouse thing. You're in the headlines for the wrong reasons there. Then, and that was kind of, I feel like, not necessarily blown out of proportion, but you know what I'm saying? It's a long week when when you got a fight right there, you know what I mean? And that's everybody's talking about, and you've run like shit all year. And in the process of you fighting, you say, I suck just as bad as you. You know, like that's it's definitely the telling sign of how bad it's been.
Yeah, and it
But
just goes to show like where his head's at and like where his confidence is at
yeah,
to say
yeah,
something
I
like
will give you
that.
that. But I mean, I feel like this week again, bad luck. But yeah, you go back to Gateway, the pissing match with Kyle Larson. I mean, he gets door banged off of 4. Kind of crowds
Also,
him
kind of
into the corner.
self-inflicted though.
In a
Like,
way, yeah, but again, I don't think you think you're gonna go in there and wreck yourself. I mean, I obviously hindsight's 2020. It's easy to sit back and say that after the fact. You know what I mean? Um, I get it. And then this week he's running top 5, has a top 5 car pretty much all day long, and then gets. Again, I don't know if he stumbled, and then Ross Chastain ran him over, or vice versa. Ross Chastain ran him over, and then he ran out of fuel. But nonetheless, again, a terrible finish. I think finished 20 something. There at Sonoma this week. So yeah, just terrible stretch of races for him. I look for him. Then maybe it's the short track program's terrible, so probably not this week or the following week at New Hampshire. Maybe Nashville they turn it around.
Yeah, it's definitely getting tight there. I mean, obviously we have two winners outside of the playoffs now who have kind of come and stolen spots with Suarez earlier this year, and then Cindric, who we'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, I mean that bubble's now moved up a couple spots, and Kyle Busch is on the outside looking in as things stand.
Yep, and we've only got 10 weeks to go left in the regular season, so he's got to put together a good string of races here the next 10. You can't say, oh, our short track program this, short track program that. You gotta find a way and will it in existence if you want to keep that. I believe it'd be 20 years. He's got a win in every season.
Yeah, Kyle just needs to win. Like I think
Hell, even if he wins a
like,
truck race, has he got any more truck races? We got any more of them? Where's the
I think he has more Xfinity, but I think he's done with trucks.
the character from Dave Chappelle, the crackhead? Y'all got any more of them Xfinity races?
Oh, Tyrone Biggums.
That's it. Y'all got any more of them Xfinity races?
Yeah, I do think he has more Xfinity races on the schedule. I think he's out of truck races for the year.
He needs something to get a dub. Like you said, it even goes back to Darlington, kind of. Shit, when he stuffs the truck in the fence. Lap 2.
It wrecked at the tire test at Indy.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's something.
We're racking them up here, Kyle. So it's definitely been a trying stretch for old Rowdy Busch, KFB, if you will. But hopefully he finds his footing and can put the old 8 machine back in victory lane. It'll make both of us happy and all will be right in the world of NASCAR.
It pains me to say, I think we got some washed allegations going against Kyle Busch right now.
Yeah, I mean, we've obviously joked about it for a few months now, even if not the whole year. But yeah, it's.
Oh, I haven't been joking about it. I've been serious about it. I haven't even been trolling. Like, I'm worried he might actually be washed. Like,
I don't think he's washed. We've seen him win in the truck. I don't think he's fully washed yet. He's.
I saw him wreck the truck on lap 1 by himself
too.
Though. Like,
gosh, don't remind me.
It's tough. It's tough.
My money was wrecked as well that night, so.
I had Chastain, luckily, so my money was good.
Don't bring that one up. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. I do think they find a way to get a win before the season's out. They've gotten decent speed, and we've seen, as I think we'll get to maybe here in our next topic. It's a good transition. Is you put yourself in position to win these things, and Racer X knows getting old sucks.
I mean, that's nobody's. I mean, I don't think we've seen a driver that has not kind of stumbled at the end of their career. Like Jimmy obviously fell off. Like Gordon had a good finish, but he had some rough years there, leading up to it. Like Harvick, those last couple years fell off. Like it happens to all of them.
Yeah, I mean, some of those guys were in the same equipment. I mean, you look at Dale Jr. I mean, even the most popular driver, he went 2 seasons winless. So it happens. I mean,
4. I mean, are you talking about from 08? Are you talking about from 08 to 2012, or are you talking about his last couple years?
No, the 08 to 12.
Yeah, I mean, he went. Years? Yeah, 4 years.
Damn. So yeah, 4 years. But yeah, like I said, I do think that team finds a way because, like I said, you put yourself in position, you can find a way to sneak one of these things out. We saw that just the other week with Austin Cindric. So yeah, what'd you think of that Austin Cindric win?
Yeah, that was Nobody saw that coming. I mean, you could have told me to pick 20 guys who are going to win the race that day, and Austin Cindric would not bet in one of the 20. I mean, well, let me take that back. Going into the weekend, he was very fast in practice. Like, I had a bet on him to finish top 5 in that race, like, because of his practice speed. So I will say, like, once you saw practice, like, you knew he was going to probably have a good day. He was fastest in 10, 15 lap averages and started second. So yeah, like going, I guess like after practice, you knew like he was gonna have a good day, but like going into the weekend, yeah, I don't think anybody saw that coming.
No, I mean granted that is his best oval other than Daytona. That's his best oval. He's got to win there in Xfinity. So, yeah, obviously we knew he's fast there. But like you said, he probably would not have been on my card going into the weekend, and certainly wasn't on my card. But man, that race definitely produced one of the bad beats of bad beats.
Oh man,
sports for me. I was sick after that. I had a Blaney to win ticket. I had a Bell top 3 ticket and a Reddick top 5 ticket. Luckily, the Reddick top 5 hit, but 20 to go. Bell or Reddick was like probably fighting 7th to 5th. You know what I mean? Right there.
oh dude, I was sitting pretty. I had Blaney to win. I had Cindric top 5, and I had Ford to win.
Oof.
So like, I was sitting good with. I mean, obviously, I still hit the Cindric top 5 and the Ford win, but yeah, it would have been a perfect day if that if Blaney held on to that for me.
Yeah. Obviously, we know how that finished. Bell had the engine issues. Um,
Well, Harrison Burton sucks. Next topic.
yeah, that's why he's getting replaced by Chase Briscoe in 4 months.
Yeah.
26 races.
But yeah,
But yeah,
that battle that wasn't a very good race overall. I wouldn't say, but like the battle between Bell and Blaney there for 20 laps or so, that was one of the best battles we've seen all year. Obviously, until Bell had the what do you have, a cylinder go down or something or
Bell. It was a valve spring.
yeah, valve spring. So yeah, I mean that was one of the.
It was a lot like a Richmond race where it was a strategy setup race. It was kind of you set your bed early and play this strategy game of, okay, here's where we're going to pit, here's where we're going to pit, and then you saw it play out at the end there, coming with, 25 laps to go when the two guys finally met, the strategies finally met, and we saw it play out. I think Bell would have got him in the long run there. I do think.
Yeah, I agree.
I was cheering hard for that 12. Go 12. Yeah, but heck, it wouldn't have mattered anyways. Well, I guess if 20 didn't blow up, he would have got around him and it all would have been all right. You know, I could have got that top 3, top 5 Reddick. But hey, it happens and it makes for a good story. Thumbs up. You know, yeah. Thumbs up to losing money for D-Self. Spotter 86 losing money. Thumbs up. We like it. All jokes aside, like I said, it does make for a good story. What else is on our ticket here? A rundown. We've covered a lot here.
Anything else from Gateway?
No. No, we're kind of getting into this weekend. So if you want to just do charter, the charter war continues.
Yeah. I mean that whole story. I don't have all the all like the details on it. I mean, obviously, like you're NASCAR side, you're the team side, so you don't know like what to believe and what not to believe because, like any story, there's two sides, and NASCAR's. It seems like they're just in general playing this thing more close to the vest than the teams are, while the teams are being vocal about it. But I mean, we're really starting to see like stuff come out that's like, oh, NASCAR is prepared for the possibility to like run if these teams move on and stuff. Like that's a headline I saw this week, and like I'm not personally concerned about it yet. I still feel like cooler heads are going to prevail and it's going to get done. So I'm not like overly concerned about it. But the fact that it's getting down to it and it's getting to this point, and you're hearing those kinds of things being said. It's like both parties and groups are really. It seems like they have their heels dug in on this. So it's just it's been one of the stories of the year, and it's like the longer it goes on, like the hotter it's gonna get.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, and I think I kind of heard you setting it up there. Um, like you said, you don't really know what to believe and really where we stand on this thing, or
Because
you know what I
we're
mean.
only hearing one side of it. That's like what I was saying. Like, because
Well, I
we're
mean,
not hearing NASCAR's side.
we're hearing
Like,
both sides, but again, everybody's playing it so close to the vest that we don't really
I
have.
don't think the teams are playing it close to the vest, but
No, no, but again, we don't know like what's being said, what's on the table. You know what I'm saying? It's like we don't know the logistics of it in that sense. Like we can't really comment on that. All we can comment on is what we've heard team members say. You know what I mean?
yeah, and I mean that's the like
And
I
of course,
can't like nobody on NASCAR's side has like really been like vocal about like this is what we don't like about what the teams are like. NASCAR has not really been like public with their side of it. Where obviously with the teams, like we've heard all these different teams come out and give their perspectives on it and stuff. So that's why I'm just like hammering the fact like we're only really hearing one side of it, and I'd just be interested to like hear somebody from NASCAR be like, "This is our hang up with what this is our real hang up with what the teams want, not this is what the teams are saying NASCAR is hung up about." Like,
Scott's kind of got it. He's close here. Scott's close here. There is three
yeah,
sides. There is three sides. It's the teams, NASCAR, and television money.
yeah.
That's
Well, he said truth,
that's
but
that's where the hem up is. And I
yeah,
think NASCAR isn't willing to throw their TV partners under the bus quite yet, especially after they just signed a $7.7 billion deal for broadcasting rights. So
I guess the latest like big part of the negotiations, like I heard this week, was that like NASCAR's trying to have it wrote in where like the France family can own charters. So basically, I give them the right to revoke charters from teams, is what I interpret that as.
yeah, again, I don't know. It's a lot of fucking mumbo jumbo, a lot of lawyer talk. Again, I don't really know a whole lot about it. I'm gonna read a lot about it. I feel like when the new agreement comes out, I'm definitely curious about it. But again, who knows where we actually truly stand on things and what's been proposed, what the true him up is. I think the him up is again TV money, um,
Yeah,
and you know what I mean. And so and the tracks have a big slice. Yeah, they do. They have definitely
yeah.
a decent slice.
The tracks get like 40% of everything.
Yeah,
I think is what it is.
so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how everything shakes out.
Which that's why like that's the beef with Denny and Marcus Smith is Denny bitching that like like Marcus and the tracks are getting all this money and like him saying that like he doesn't think that like the tracks are putting enough back in the sport
Right,
with
that's what
like
I was
all the
trying to
money they're
say.
profiting of. Like,
That's what I was trying to say a few months ago when all that happened. You know, you got fucking a brand new racetrack in Sonoma that you repaved, ripping up. But then, hey, we'll get into here in just a little bit. NASCAR's having a little issues here with one of their tracks coming up. So, yeah, we'll get
yeah, I mean,
into.
I just disagree with the notion though that like the track owners don't care about the sport and they're not because like I think Marcus has done a lot and he spent a lot of money to like try new things and invest in the sport, whether it's rebuilding North Wilkesboro, like trying the dirt race at Bristol, trying the Roval, like renting Coda for use. Like I'm sure that's not cheap. Like I personally don't agree with that notion that like Marcus Smith and track owners in general aren't like investing back in the sport because I do think that they invest a lot in it. I mean, the reconfigure of Atlanta, like that was not cheap, and like there would have been a lot cheaper ways to do that. And like he paid for a surface that was going to wear out quick to produce better racing for the betterment of the sport. So I was just like, I don't agree with that narrative, but that is the narrative that's out there.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how that. I mean, uh, that and charters, yeah, sure. We'll see how it all shakes out. Um, yeah, that's pretty much all I got on it until we hear what's going on with it.
Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, we don't know the true story, the whole story. So it's kind of hard for us to like really be strongly opinionated about. I feel like, and like, I mean, everybody on Twitter and obviously thinks they know everything and like they're experts on everything, but like none of us are about this because like we're
Uh
not
huh.
we don't know the whole story.
Yeah, exactly, and that's kind of where I'm at with that. Like, I'll tell you straight up, I don't know enough about this to really make enough comments because there's you don't really know where everybody stands on it. What side's 100% truthful? I mean, I'm sure there's truth in all the sides, but who's really at the fault for the him up? And maybe we'll find out when the new deal gets done. Um, like you said, I'm not overly concerned right now, but at the same time, it's like, damn, we're in the middle of one of the greatest seasons of all time, and this is what we're talking about.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's not great. It's not a good look for the sport. And like,
No, it's
if it
not.
gets to the point where they don't get this deal done, like it's going to be really bad. And like that's like if we get to the point where like like high profile teams are like leaving the sport and skipping races, and like we don't have the stars out there, like NASCAR is never going to recover from that. Like, I mean, we saw that. Like, we know the story of the IndyCar cart split. Like, IndyCar never recovered from that,
Yeah.
and so like,
They,
yeah,
they
I like,
got they got one big race.
yeah, yeah, but they like as a whole, yeah, they never recovered from that. So like, am I concerned it's going to get to that point right now? No, but I will acknowledge like if it does get to that point, it's going to be a massive fucking problem that like could put NASCAR in a grave if we're being honest. Like if it gets to that point, like the sport is going to have long term damage.
Definitely could get ugly. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll see how that goes. Luckily they have plenty of storylines to keep everybody at bay throughout the summer months
Yeah,
here. With 10 weeks ago, you got a lot of big name star drivers on the outside looking in on playoff spots right now, or right on the bubble spots, with a lot of wild card races coming up. So yeah, the next 10 weeks are going to be interesting. So that will definitely keep a lot of the noise down about this charter deal, but we will.
and if Gateway showed anything, you mentioned wild card races coming up. If Gateway showed anything, it's like you never know what race is going to be a wild card race because like we never would have thought like Gateway would be the race where we get a new winner and the playoffs shaken up. But you just never know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel like these things are so close, so easily won or lost. That it's one little thing that could decide it, and you got to be perfect to put it all together and get that win. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be a fun 10 weeks. Um,
I know what story we got to talk
we
about
do.
before Sonoma.
You said you know one story we got to talk about.
Yeah, before we get to Sonoma,
Okay, go ahead.
the waiver.
Oh fuck! God damn! I'm so glad we didn't have a show that week, cause good lord.
I mean, I think we probably agree though. Like,
I definitely agree that he should have gotten it. But I do see NASCAR's side of it and saying like, or I guess they didn't really say anything, but of kind of flexing their balls, saying like, "Yo, we didn't really like that you skipped our race for this other race." Like, I get it, Larson's side of it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm a racer at heart. You know what I mean? I get it. You just spent a bunch of money, a bunch of time. You're already there. You know what I mean? Like, and the precedent has pretty much already been set of like we give waivers for everything. So
well, that's yeah. I mean, when you're giving waivers
and
to
he
guys
made
for
it.
getting
He made
suspended,
every attempt to get to Charlotte after the fact.
yeah, that's
So
why I think it should have been a non-story. Like, but I think NASCAR's hang up and the reason they drug it out a little bit was that they told NASCAR
because
like
the
they were
waiver,
committed and
because the charter deal ain't done.
yeah. But they did tell NASCAR like the 600 was their priority, and like they said that publicly and privately for a long
All
time,
the
and
way up
then
until
like
Friday. All the way up until
yeah,
Friday.
and then push came to shove, and they're like, maybe not. Like I see like why NASCAR would have been frustrated about that, but ultimately it's like Larson wanted to be in Charlotte. He made every attempt to be there, and he did something that's beneficial to all of motorsports, NASCAR included. So it's like to punish him for that and like create this mess that would have been around all season, like it just wouldn't have been worth it.
Oh my God, what a disaster! You talk about putting NASCAR in the grave. That would have been.
I
That would
mean,
have
we talk
been
about like casual
pretty
fans
bad.
all the time and stuff. Can you imagine like explaining to like, well, yeah, he's the best, but he's not allowed to like
He's the goat. He just like kicks everybody's ass every week, but yeah, he's not even allowed. He's not even in the playoffs, like let alone for a
he missed
championship.
one race earlier this year, so he's not allowed. It's so stupid.
He missed one race to race the biggest race in the world, but yeah. I'm so glad that that all got worked out before we had another show. Cause good lord, that would have been a disaster to talk about.
Jeez Louise.
I
I
was
mean,
so
Larson
annoyed
might
with
have
it.
left. Larson might have left NASCAR.
I will
over
say,
that, you know.
yeah. I mean, and I wouldn't have blamed him one bit. I would have been on his side. Like, I would have been like, "Fuck you, dude. I'm out of here." But no, I'm glad that that all worked out, and yeah, that would have been such a disaster, and maybe they did do it to keep us in the headlines an extra week there. You know, they got a lot of pop on different social media buzz. You know, it was basically the headlines all week. You know what I mean? Especially when they put out that 0 playoff points after.
Yeah.
That was when I was like, oh shit, yo.
And they were doing that just to fuck with people, because like
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Truex has only ran like a couple Xfinity races this year, and if you look, it shows him with 5 playoff points.
Yeah.
Like, and he's not eligible for the playoffs, so they obviously just did that 0 thing, like just to fuck with them. Like,
Yeah, it was like I said, they wanted some clicks, maybe to keep the noise down about the charter deal for another week. And
oh my, what a stupid story! I'm so glad, like,
oh yeah, I'm
like,
so glad
that
it's
got
resolved.
resolved.
And like I said, I'm glad we didn't have a show that week, honestly. So yeah, glad it's resolved. And but yeah, on to
I think it would have been fine. I think it would have been fine with the show, because it seems like for the most part we agree on it. So.
No, it would have just been so annoying to talk about. Like
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That it would just been so annoying. Like, really, are they really not going to give him a waiver? Like, this would have been so terrible for the sport. So
It's like we both listen to Gluck and Bianchi, and it's been like 3 straight weeks of like half the show them arguing about a waiver.
Well, I think fucking Bianchi does it just to rile up Jeff a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like I do with you a little bit, just to make it interesting and get a good banter back and
Fucking
forth.
shake the tree a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. You got to do that a little bit. But yeah, on to Sonoma.
Yep.
We've kind of touched on some of the topics here, and now this will be good. We're right up at about an hour. We've touched on some of the topics, but we'll kick it off with the Saturday SVG show. Number 1, SVG is number 1. Austin Hill thinks so.
Yeah.
No, what a good Xfinity race. Banger.
I mean, SVG's the fucking man. Like, I love that guy. Like, I love everything about him, dude.
Yeah, me too. I love everything about him too. I love that he's like learning the American way, learning the NASCAR way, and not afraid to use the bumper. And it's been definitely fun. And we talked about it a little bit earlier, but we'll touch on it a little bit more here, just in case anybody wasn't listening at the time. But no, I mean, I think we neither of us had a problem with how him and Austin Hill raced each other there at the end. I saw it as just hard-nosed racing for a win coming down to it. Going for the same position.
Like I said earlier, I saw it as SVG owed Hill one from Coda, so like seems even to me.
Yeah, no doubt.
But the one thing from that race that like did Ty Gibbs' little fucking temper tantrum when he got caught up in that wreck? Like, did you catch that? Where
I caught it, but I
He,
heard an
he was
interesting
in.
tidbit.
Oh, good.
I said I obviously I saw it and it had me geeked out. Like it just reminded me of myself on iRacing. But I did hear an interesting tidbit today from DBC that the spotters could not see in that location. So
Yeah.
he probably had no help or no awareness of where people were around him, and he's just like trying to hurry up and get back on track, and you know what I mean, spins it around and ends
But
up
he was
doing more
in.
damage.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the wreck, and he just like runs into Brandon Jones right in front of him like three times, like staying in the like. I think, and like obviously like it's he has a reputation, but like yeah, I mean, it seemed to me. I don't know if you saw it the same way that he just kind of threw a fucking temper tantrum and was like, "Fuck this! I'm staying in the gas. I don't care who I run into." And it's just what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely what are you doing, dude moment. But I thought it was definitely funny. Um,
Him just hitting every fucking thing in sight.
yeah, I was geeking out, dude. I was like, oh, that's so funny. I kind of get it though. It's like you get off track, you get fucking turned around like that, and you're just like doing everything you can to hurry up and get your position back. Without losing any more spots.
Like where he just like went and like doored the fuck out of Boris said like right there at the end. That's like
Yeah,
why? Like I mean,
yeah,
it was just unnecessary. Like, and then like,
yeah,
which by the way, Boris, I love Boris. I mean, he's obviously a great personality, but whoa,
talk
it
about
might be
washed.
time for him to hang it up, man. When he
He's
goes out
fucking
there and practice in the first corner and fucking jumps it,
yeah, he's fresh laundry. He's washed.
yeah.
But yeah, no, Ty Gibbs definitely adventure time in the Xfinity car there. Welcome back to the Xfinity Series moment. Um,
What's
but
going on with Alvarola, by the way? Have you been following that? Oh, like,
I was honestly thinking about that either yesterday or today at work. I was like daydreaming about it. Like Eric Almirola was supposed to be in that car and he wasn't. Like he was originally supposed to be in. Like I never really read up on it or anything.
yeah. I mean, it's been going on for weeks now. Like, he hasn't been in the car, and like they've been pulling him out every week. Like, they put Dane in it one week, and they put
Yeah,
Gibbs in. Like,
it all started at Charlotte
yeah, that was
when
yeah, that
Ty
was.
Gibbs ran it. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting stuff, but yeah, again, I don't think there's been any like news on that. So interesting. Maybe we'll hear something about it, but I don't know. But
The clickbait story, which like I doubt there's any truth to, but nevertheless, it's going around, and I guess the dumb people community is that him and Bubba got into it in the Toyota meeting, and but I mean that seems like red meat for idiots, but nevertheless, I will say that's
when
the
would they have
rumor
even
that
raced? When would they have even raced together?
that's. I don't, it was like they said it was a meeting for Toyota, and they got in. But I think it's bullshit. I think it's just. But I mean, I only bring it up because it's like if you look into the story, you're gonna see people saying that. I don't think it's true, but that is the rumor, probably
Gotcha,
bullshit rumor that's going around.
gotcha. That's just what the kind of story, the narrative that is out there that is.
Yeah, which,
I
like I
got
say, probably bullshit, but I'll bring it up regardless because if you do look into the story, you're probably going to run into that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll wait till anything official comes out. I mean, I'm not I don't fall for the bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll wait for some official word on it. But yeah, definitely an interesting story to follow there. Um, but yeah, SCG, man of the people. I had some cash, some coin on him this weekend to get the win. So obviously I had no
What
problem
was
with
it?
that.
Minus 150?
No, I got it at. I'll tell you. Hang on.
Did you do pre qualifying?
It was like plus 125. It was post qualifying.
Okay, because I looked right before the race, and it was like, it might have just been my site. It was like minus 120. I didn't even bother with it.
Yeah, no, it was shit. I mean, but I was just like, why not? I'm not doing anything else on fucking Saturday at night. Like, it was fucking weird 8 p.m. start out there for us here, but it's still daylight there. So, yeah, I took the coin, and obviously, when he door banged it, Austin Hill there, I was all about it. And I sent a text message to Logan, our good buddy, a friend of the show, and it was the Johnny Manziel clip where he's got the money on his hand. He's like, I can't fucking hear you. I got too much money in my hand. I was like me when Austin Hill starts bitching.
Love that, dude. Love that.
Yeah,
That's 2 wins in a row. All SVG's lighting it up, man.
Yeah, man, killing it. Love the burnout. What a fucking cool ass way to
Oh my god, dude.
And I love the clip from Stacking Pennies this week where he's like, yeah, at first it was for the fans, and then I saw he was giving me the bird out the window, and I was like, oh no, I'm not putting up with that. And it was like, all right, I'm gonna fucking smoke this guy out. Watch this. And, I was like, that is awesome, dude. Fucking Australia.
I know, dude. I love the guy, man.
New Zealand badass.
Yeah, I fucking love that dude.
Yeah, I hope it pans out for the ovals for him. You know, he's obviously. I mean, I wouldn't say he's done anything outstanding this year on the ovals, but he also hasn't looked like a buffoon. You know, he hasn't looked.
I think he's been better than expected on the ovals. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, I mean,
in my personal opinion.
Yeah. He
especially when it's not like college running that well anyway.
And it's the Xfinity series. The Xfinity car is obviously one tough vehicle to navigate on the ovals. I mean, it's got a lot of horsepower. So yeah,
I was wondering about that though. Since you bring it up, like I was thinking about it before he's won the last couple weeks. Obviously, I think I was thinking about it while we were in Charlotte, and I was just like watching the race. It's like, are they doing him a disservice by this year in Xfinity? Because it's like his first year in NASCAR, and he's 35 years old. The Xfinity car is so much different than the Cup car. It's like, should they have found a way to just get him in a Cup car immediately? Like, just because, like, everything he learns in Xfinity this year, presuming he goes to Cup next year, he's going to have to unlearn it for Cup.
No. He's going to learn car control, which he already is a master at. Obviously, look at him fucking drift the entire racetrack on the burnout. He dude can control anything. And obviously, the Xfinity car has some crossover because look at Josh Berry. He's ran just a couple of truck races. I think the truck series is just so toxic. You know what I'm saying? He would not get a good feel for.
No, but I'm not saying trucks. I'm saying they should have gotten him in Cup. Like,
well, again, where do you put him? I don't think there's a full-time.
16.
But does he have funding for that?
I'm sure they could have made it work.
There's a lot of question marks on the table here. You know what I mean? And this Justin Marks is a smart dude.
Yeah.
So I think the plan is to get him in there next year.
I agree with you about trucks, by the way. I just want to clear that.
No, yeah. So I thought that's where you were going with it. Maybe put him in trucks because that's more. We've seen that crossover be a little easier and work out. But no, I mean we've seen the Josh Berry have great runs. You know what I mean? So, and granted, that's in the 4 car this year, not just last year. You know, I'm going off of this year's merits. So, yeah, no, I think SPG will be fine. Just got to keep working on those ovals. Again, he's not been bad, but he's just not done anything to impress me. I wouldn't say.
Yeah, I mean, it's. Yeah, I mean it's something he's never done, and like you said, he hasn't made a buffoon of himself. Like,
no, but he's been solid.
Like, yeah, and I think that's all you can expect. Like it's something different to him. I don't think anybody expected him to go out there and win. I mean, he's led literally. Like I saw that stat after was it Charlotte? I think it was where he's like the first driver of all time or something, or a long time to lead like his first 7 Cup starts or whatever it is. But he's led every single Cup start he's made, dating back to obviously Chicago last year.
No, that's pretty badass. I didn't see that. All right. Anything else from Xfinity?
Nope. We can move on to Cup.
All right. What do you got? Anything where you want to start with that?
I didn't get to see most of the race. I was at the pool all day on Sunday, but I did see bits and pieces and see that like the little battle for the lead at the end stuff. I probably watched like the last 15 laps and saw some like bits and pieces throughout. But I know it was definitely abnormal for Sonoma with all the cautions and stuff. And I'm sure the repave, and I know the track is like reconfigured. Like a few of the turns were different, and they put the wall in turn 11. So kind of like a different version, honestly, like a better version of Sonoma than what we've seen in the past. I think all the changes they made this year seems like they made it better because Sonoma's not a track I enjoyed in the past. That's why I wasn't really like prioritizing watching the race on Sunday. But seems like definitely one of the best Sonoma races in quite a long time.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely the restarts and all the cautions and mayhem there on the first two stages of the race kept things entertaining. Um, I will
Love seeing
say,
Denny blow up on lap two.
God, I hated it for my guys. No, like that was a wild stat. I think that was the earliest Denny Hamlin's ever like gone out of any NASCAR national race in his career.
I saw that too.
And
It had a whole chart of like
that's
every active Cup driver and the earliest they've gone out of a race.
Interesting of note, that's his 666th career Cup start. So just a bad omen there.
Busted everybody's brackets.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the bracket challenge, man. We didn't even mention that, but we can touch on that. The past 2 weeks have been it's been upset city for the bracket challenge for sure.
Who was your like? I don't know if you remember. I don't even really remember my whole Final Four. I think I had Hamlin, Reddick, Byron, and Gibbs, and then I had Reddick versus Byron in the final, and I had Reddick winning it.
Yeah, so total. I'll be truthful here. I was a jabroni, and did not lock in a bracket before the 3 o'clock deadline. I literally logged in to do it at 3 o'clock. I was like, oh, perfect. I got like half an hour to do it. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I knew it said 3 o'clock or whatever that day, and I was like, oh, but it was like also the green flag. You know what I mean? They're just like get it in before green flag, and I was like, okay, I got a little bit of time, and that was also Shenandoah race weekend, so I was tied up kind of all week in the race shop, and totally forgot about it till Sunday. So yeah, no bracket, which I would say after Gateway and this week, I'm kind of glad I didn't fill one out.
Yeah. I'll say, like, because we didn't do a show, like, the week after they announced the in-season tournament next year, but I am pretty excited about that and the $1 million prize. You have to thank TNT getting in, and they're, like, the ones showing, or it's Prime, but it's basically TNT. Like, they're the ones showing the in-season tournament races, and, I mean, you have to think, like, their connection with the NBA and the success of the NBA's in-season tournament this year was like a big thought process in that.
Their connection with Dale Jr. as well.
Yeah.
Who owns the bracket challenge right now?
Junior. Yeah.
30 Media. So yeah, it's I think it's all connected, and obviously NASCAR I think will own the rights to it all eventually, or I guess next year they do. Technically, but yeah, it's
now I wonder. I'm surprised the NBA didn't have a like trademark on in-season tournament. Like I was surprised about that, but because like they're calling it like the NASCAR in-season tournament, I thought the NBA would have put a trademark in on that. But
I don't know how you could trademark in-season tournament. I don't think you could trademark it. It's a phrase. You know what I mean? It's not like a. I don't know. I don't think you could do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an expert on copyright law by any means, but
it is. Yeah, certainly you would think they would, but nonetheless, that is gonna be super cool. I thought it was funny the day that it was announced. You're like, I was like, yo, this is sick, right? I'm like hyped about it, and I knew it was for the $1 million already, and then you're like, yeah, I just hope they make it a good prize and like so the drivers are into it. And I'm like, what is this dude talking about? Like, does he not think $1 million is enough for this? Like,
yeah, I didn't realize until after the fact. I didn't see the million part.
You're like, oh shit, there's already $1 million on the line. I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, what do you mean? And so I was like, yeah, he's like not excited about this. He just doesn't think $1 million's enough for this. I'm like,
I missed that part of the announcement, so I was like, okay, but what are the stakes? And then like I realized there was $1 million. I was like, okay, cool. Like,
nah, that was my initial like, okay, what's the stakes here? You know what I mean? Like how much are the guys gonna be racing for this? And
Dude,
no,
imagine if they put like 10 playoff points too, or something like that. If you win it, like
that would be
spice
crazy.
it up even more.
Hell, even like 5.
Yeah,
Make it
but
worth
like,
one extra win. That would be
I
that would be
mean,
worth
they
something.
got plenty of time to figure that out. So maybe
Yeah,
they will.
maybe
after that.
something we do throughout the years.
Dude,
I said they need to incorporate the fans back into it as well. A fan with a chance to win $1 million on top of the driver's $1 million.
Dude, we made a reference to copyright law, by the way. We do need to bring up real quick that like the trademark on the DEI 8 expired, and Junior's gonna see about getting it back. He said he'll let Teresa get it back if she wants it, but never. I wanted to bring that up because we're obviously under Spectator, and Joey Tartamella for Spectator. He's actually who like kind of like broke that story. Like he was like really digging into it and like looking it up on like the wherever you look up trademarks and stuff, and like he was the first person to really kind of like report that and bring that up. Like
he actually broke that Junior had applied for the trademark. Not only that it expired, it expired June 3rd, and like I said, he had applied for it before that because I believe that article or whatever news clipping came out the weekend we were in Charlotte, if I'm not mistaken. It was like that Friday or Saturday that came out. So yeah,
talking about where he was on the download talking about it.
Well, then he talked about it that Tuesday on the download.
Okay.
It was that weekend that it came out that his name's Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Friday or Saturday that Joey announced that Junior had applied for it, and I knew that it was expiring, and that obviously if Joey was like reporting that, I figured that he was up on it that Teresa hadn't done anything, so. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Hopefully, we see that back on the racetrack sooner than later.
That is what Dale said. That he said if he gets it, he wants to use it.
Well, and of note, that weekend, it looked like Dale Jr. got access to the Deerhead shop. There were some pictures of him, old Earnhardt Senior hoods that he had taken pictures of and tweeted. He was like, "Crazy what you find in an old race shop" or something like that. So. I think he might have got access to the old DEI property there, the property behind DEI, and finally got into the Deerhead shop and was able to get some items and hopefully get that font back.
Dude, it's just crazy to me how like him and Teresa, like you can hear him talking in that clip, like they do not speak because he's just like like if she wants to keep it, she'll keep it, and if she doesn't keep it, I'll get like you can tell by the way he was talking that like they just like don't speak. Because I'm like, normally, like, if it was that way, he could just be like, yeah, I called her and talked to her. I'm going to call her and ask her about it. But, like, the way he's talking, it's like those two must, like, still not be on the greatest terms.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised it ended bad. And, just everybody stay your own separate ways. And, it's probably just best that way. Some things best left that way.
Wanted to make sure I brought that up though to give Joey a shout out. Spectator doing big things.
Yeah, for sure.
So good work by him on that. Hopefully see that 8 car back out there.
Yep, no doubt.
But yeah, Sonoma. Didn't mean to sidetrack that too much. But
no, I mean it was kind of a quiet week, nonchalant race. Like you said, you said
was it 8 cautions? 9 cautions, whatever it was.
Like you said, the racing up front, it was kind of straightforward. Like it was only 2 different strategies, so it was just kind of like you had the guys with the older tires, the Bushers, the Truex, and they tried to stretch it. Where you had Larson put on fresh tires that last run and mow up through the field.
What the hell was Josh Berry doing?
Yeah, that was I mean, it was funny. It was funny. I thought about it before the race. I was like, yeah, Josh Berry is not a road course racer. Like, I'm going to just fade him this week. Like, I mean, I didn't place any matchup bets, but I was like, yeah, Josh Berry is not a road course racer. And sure enough, he went bowling there and got a strike, knocked down all of them.
Dude, Josh Berry, I've said this on here before, but, like, I feel like he kind of gets, like, people like his story and they like his connection to Junior. So, like, they kind of give him like a pass when he fucks up, but he's ran out of talent quite a few times this year. Like he's had some rough ones. I mean, he had the Suarez at Richmond. He had the Kobayashi at Coda. He had this one. Those are just the three that come to the top of my head.
It's 2 road courses. Which again, he's not a road course racer. They ain't got no road courses in Tennessee.
Yeah.
In Hendersonville, there ain't no road courses in Hendersonville.
I don't know. I just think I like the guy, but I think he needs to clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, I guess.
But
you can think
he's
that.
He's kind of Stenhousen out there.
Nah.
He's been a little bit of a battering ram.
I don't think so, but sure. I mean, and he had help this weekend. He had help from the 42.
Yeah, I saw people saying that. I haven't gone back and dissected the incident or anything.
Yeah,
but I saw
everybody kind of got shuffled there when the 23 got off into the grass. And they were in the fastest part of the racetrack. And then the 42, I think, was moving lanes and got into the back of him. And then, I mean, once you lock up the brakes, you're just along for the ride at that point.
Yeah. So. But good battle there for the win, I guess, if you want to move it on a little bit. But, I mean, I enjoyed watching that battle for the win. And then, obviously, Larson, after 2 weeks of talking about waivers and shit, gets it done. So.
Yeah, I mean, to me, just the battle of the win, it's just like, I just felt like Larson was going to pull it off the entire time, you know what I mean?
So he got shipped.
Yeah, he definitely had some help from behind there, I thought. It felt like someone else I know, but yeah, like I said, I kind of saw Larson winning like 15 laps to go, you know what I mean? Like once he put those tires on and like he passed like first 2 or 3 cars, I was just like, okay, I don't think this is really going to be that close of a battle. And I mean, like I said, once he got around Busher for the lead there, right? It was Busher was still in the lead, I think.
Yeah, all 3 of them were swapping it.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like once he got the lead, it was just like, yeah, Larson's going to check out. So I was kind of like, eh. But no, I mean, it was fine. Like I said, the cautions definitely made it interesting, but I feel like it was the most boring 8 caution race of all time. I'll put it that way. if that makes sense. But yeah, Sonoma was Sonoma. It was definitely... I feel like it had me on the edge of my seat after last week. We didn't know. It felt like anybody could win after last week. You know, I will give it that. And you had Busher up there possibly going to steal a win, you know, move the cut line even more. So that was definitely a storyline. But no, ready to get back to some more traditional ovals. I'm an oval guy myself. I like the road courses, but I'm just an oval guy, you know.
Man, I'm ready for Chicago personally, but.
Oh yeah, I mean I would be too if I had tickets.
Man, we got the fucking wristbands this week. I'm fucking hyped.
Nice,
dude. Yeah, I'm hyped for that shit. But that's like the only race I've been thinking about the last few weeks. But
hell yeah. All right, we'll give a full sprint car recap next week. We're already an hour into this show. It's 9:30.
I was hoping you would say that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do a fucking whole rundown here.
Kyle Larson won again last night, though, and that was a pretty good race.
Kyle Larson's still undefeated at Eagle Raceway Park since 2017.
Also, Macedo dominated on Saturday and got passed on the last lap. Led every lap.
Yeah,
that was a tough one.
Yeah. And it was cool to see some outlaws in the race last night there at Eagle Raceway.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought that was pretty cool.
It's a good track. I love that track.
Yeah, it's a great track. We'll get a full recap next week. I said we're getting back into the swing of things here. World Outlaws at Knoxville Raceway this weekend, which love to see. We're always a big fan of when they're close to NASCAR. That's only like an hour and a half, 2 hours from Newton, where the Cup Series and Xfinity will be this weekend. Yeah.
The
Anything
track.
else? What?
The track. The whatever the fuck they
Oh
did in
God.
Iowa.
Woo!
I hope
Damn.
since that picture came out that they have made some adjustments.
I don't think they did.
Otherwise, that shit is going to be fucking single groove, fucking
Yeah.
slam to the bottom.
Like I was looking forward to it until that came out, and I was like, hold up, what? And yeah, it's the only thing
Dude, they need
I
to
will
get the
say
fucking
that
PJ1 back out and throw that on the top.
the only thing I will say is the bottom of that racetrack is super bumpy. The bottom groove is super bumpy. So if you're on the bump stops, you're gonna have to move around. You know what I mean? So they also said it when they're testing that Larson went up top and nobody could catch him. So take
But
that.
was that before that fucking patch job, whatever the fuck that is?
Yeah.
Or,
This was only 2 weeks ago. This was Tuesday after Indy 500.
okay.
So that's
But
when they tested at it.
that was yeah, that as soon as I saw that I was like, okay, this race is gonna be on the bottom. Like,
I don't know. Like I'm hopeful of it because all the races here in the past have been
Scott's saying it's gonna be a shit show.
well. That's what I'm saying. It's I'm kind of hopeful about it a little bit because all the races here. Go back and watch the races here. It's very top groove dominant. If you can go run the top here, that's when you can fucking make some hay. And granted, I know it's got new asphalt there on the bottom, but I do think that maybe that'll make 2 lanes, and I don't know. We'll see if you can how it'll all shake out.
I mean, put some resin or some PJ1 on the top, like.
Yeah, maybe they will.
Yeah, I'm sure that's at least in consideration. So.
We'll have to see how it all shakes out, and hopefully, if it is bad, it doesn't work out how they hoped it will this year. They fucking redo it for next year and get it right, get the whole thing paved. What I get is how bad could it been because damn IndyCar was there last year in the summer. Like,
dude, it looks like they
like it would have been that bad.
It looks like they like started paving it and then we're just like, and they just like forgot about it.
I don't know.
I don't know. The books don't think it's the books definitely don't think it's going to be a good race because I saw a prop earlier that the stage 2 winner is minus 130 to win the race.
Yeah, so they're thinking qualifying is going to matter a lot.
Yeah. We'll see though. I mean, it's cool to go to a new track and a new market. I mean, I hope it works out because obviously if it doesn't, then that race might not be as much of a success if they go back next year. Which LaJoy said this week he thinks Iowa's going to be one and done. I don't know if you heard that.
Well, it was supposed to be just a placeholder for this year, anyways.
Yeah.
For Montreal.
Yeah, I mean we'll see. But yeah, that's what Corey said this week. So, but I was listening to somebody else who said or might have been Pockris in an article or something that said they don't expect that. So I mean, I guess we'll see. But I'm sure how the race goes is going to be a big factor in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we will see. Like I said 2-day show, Xfinity 3:30 on Saturday, and Cup 3:30 on Sunday. I will say it's kind of nice seeing somebody new at the top of the books. Somebody new is a favorite this week.
For Cup or Xfinity?
Cup.
Oh, who would that be?
Mr. Christopher Bell.
That's interesting. I don't hate that though. I mean, he was really good here in Xfinity. So.
Well, if you've been following the trends, he should be fast here. They were one of the guys that tested here.
Oh yeah, didn't think about that, but I remember he was really good here in Xfinity. So.
Yep, Christopher Bell opens as a favorite, but all right, let's pick some Xfinity. I'll let you lead us off. Who you got?
I'm not seeing any odds.
One Cup driver in the field. John Hunter Nemechek. in
Let me check
Rochester?
the DraftKings real quick. I was on FanDuel. I didn't see Xfinity odds on there. I'm gonna see if it's on DraftKings real quick.
Oh, okay. I got odds if you need it.
Gotcha. Yeah, just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
Park that
Um,
motherfucker.
all right, I got him. Let's see. Um, give me. I'll go with Sam Mayer plus
Okay.
1,200.
All right. I like it. I like it. Uh, Give me. Damn, they got kind of handicapped this week. It's interesting. This place races a lot like Richmond. Give me the guy that's won at Richmond earlier this year and last year. Give me Chandler Smith plus 300. But good top five bet I think here would be Corey Heim in the 26. I think that may be a solid top five bet. Pre-practice, that's plus 500 for Corey Heim, top five.
All right. Well, who you got for Cup?
The Cup Series. Um. Shit. Shit. Um. Fuck. I don't know who I want to win this week.
I got mine. If you want to just let me
Yeah,
go
go ahead.
first.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So, anytime we've done something new, this guy's been tough to beat at it. Dominated the All-Star race, where I feel like there's going to be some similarities with the short tracks and everything. Give me Joey Logano.
All right, that's
First
plus
of the
eight.
season, move the playoff cut line up a little bit. That is plus 1,000 on DraftKings, so or on
All right.
FanDuel.
All right. Um, I'm gonna go with the guy we talked about, kind of leading off the show a little bit here. Kind of the big domino we're talking about for silly season. I asked if he could get a win in the next three. I think he gets it done this week. He was super fast at Richmond earlier this year. Kind of got beat on a restart. Not kind of. He did get beat on a restart. A jumped restart, some would say. You know, allegedly. Give me old MTJ plus 1,000 to get the dub this weekend.
All right.
So yeah, that's
Um,
about all I got.
top 10.
Oh yeah, good call. My bad. It's been a minute since we did this.
Oh, you good?
Da, da, da,
They really got it handicapped pretty good this week.
They do. They do. It's because it's such an unknown. That's why.
I'll just say, like, I don't think his odds are long enough to be an underdog, but I really like Chase
I'll
Briscoe
just.
there. He won here in Xfinity. I think that'll
Yeah,
be a
no,
good
just go
one.
ahead. Just give us. We'll just do solid solid top tens this week. Not long shot. Just go solid top
Well,
plays. You
I
want?
do have my long shot too.
Oh, okay. Get two plays then.
Yeah, so I said Briscoe. The other one I really like. This guy's been running really good this year. Just about anywhere we went. I think it's going to be a lot of unknown and like this week at this track and like everybody's kind of going to be on a level playing field. I like Carson Hocevar a lot plus 550. It seems like he's just excels wherever we go and he's able to learn fast and done a great job this year. So give me Hocevar
All right. So host of our long shot, safe
plus
play
550.
Chase. Yeah, 550 host of our safe play Chase Briscoe plus 165.
Yep.
All right, I like it. I don't hate it at all. All right, for my card, my top tens, I'm gonna take Alex Bowman as the safe play. He has been on quite the streak of top tens. I don't know if he
Very
got one.
under the radar.
Did he get one at Sonoma?
I don't believe so,
I don't think so.
but
He was just outside of it. But give me Alex Bowman plus 160 top 10. That's my safe play for the day. And then
yeah, he
for
finished
long
15th.
Okay, yeah. long shot. Give me Todd Gilliland.
I like that a lot too, dude. I was thinking about him too. He's been
Yeah,
good
that's
everywhere we've gone this year.
yeah. When you were saying all the things you were talking about Harsh and Hocevar, I thought it was gonna be Todd Gilliland. So, well, yeah, we'll stick with the same mindset, and again with that same odds is 550. Sorry. So, couple plays early in the week, midweek. Yeah, there it is. 1 hour and a half. We're in. I'm good. Let's call it a night.
Let's do it. Good show. Great to get back on track, and we'll be back with our more normal weekly shows after this. But it's been a real one.
Yup.
All right. See ya.
All right, one more time. If y'all are in the area, Cars Tour this weekend, Dominion, come on out. I'll be hosting a little tailgate, having the Xfinity race on there in the afternoon before the Cars Tour race gets kicked off at Dominion. So, yeah, come on out, have a couple cold drinks, enjoy some racing. We'll see you there.
I like it. Go do that.
See ya.
See ya.